Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Oh, hey, welcome to Seattle Side Up. My name is Abraham Deweese. With me is Matthew Page. How's it going, Matt?
Hey, how's it going? Doing pretty good.
Not bad. Hey, so today the Seattle Seahawks lost to the Cincinnati Bengals in an excruciating overtime match that, well, had me throwing my shoe at the TV, and I undoubtedly realized that you may have done something violent in response to the field goal to win the game in overtime.
It was not a pretty sight, definitely. That 17-point lead, just poof.
Where to start? Where do we start? How about let's start with defense, because there really wasn't that much wrong with the defense, but no one's outside the bounds of like criticism here. I thought on defense that I thought that Michael Bennett was playing out of control, and that works in some situations. Did not like that he had a cheap foul against Andy Dalton on an interception.
Oh man, that was inexcusable. I mean, the league, in my opinion, should fine him. I know he's our player, and I should stand behind him, but there was no excuse for that. For those that didn't see it, when Earl Thomas made the interception and ran it back for about 70 yards, Michael Bennett decided to lay in a couple different cheap shots on Andy Dalton, and it was plainly, aggressively, completely unnecessary. Andy Dalton was on the ground, and then Michael Bennett hit him again, and then fell on him for no reason. It's why they have the term unnecessary reference.
It was definitely unnecessary. Okay, Earl Thomas intercepts the ball at that 1 yard line, runs back, like, I don't know what, to the 30, to the 20, and it was in field goal range, and Bennett basically pulls it back to the other side of the field. It's idiotic moves like this. That Packer game, Bennett had a bunch of offsides penalties that led to touchdowns. Where is his head at?
I honestly, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's trying the Ndamukong Suh excuse so that he plays too intense and he just gets into the game or whatever. But it's inexcusable. I mean, you're a professional. You've got to learn when it's appropriate, when it's safe, and when it's legal to hit a guy, and when it's cheap, and when you're gonna get caught. I mean,
yeah. Well, so we did see Cliff Averill, Bennett, obviously. We also had Deshaun Shedd, Cassius Marsh, Ataiba Rubin. They all got sacks today. We had a lot of sacks today. That was pretty good to see from the pass rush.
Very good effort. A very good effort on the pass rush side, definitely. I do want to skip ahead one person in particular that I do think needs to be called out. And that's Mr. Williams, our corner.
Yeah, Kerry Williams had a really crappy game. They picked on him. Bengals picked on him all freaking day.
He's had a rough entire year, really. I mean, we had to move Richard Sherman around when we normally don't like to.
Yeah.
We had to move him to cover for Williams.
How many times did you see today where they just changed the formation up just to isolate Kerry Williams in one-on-one situation?
They were taking advantage of him. But to be fair, there's another player out there that I think needs to be mentioned. It's not necessarily a big deal yet. It's not a crazy deal, but it's something that needs to be addressed. Cam Chancellor, I love you. I absolutely, please don't kill me. I love you.
11 tackles today.
11 tackles, but I don't feel like you're really making your presence known out there.
Yeah.
And you are supposed to be the backup for Williams in that situation, and in most situations, not always. Sometimes you got your own stuff to do, but I don't feel like you're fully up to speed. He's fully up to speed yet. I don't feel like he's really making his presence known out there.
That's very possible. So we made the Bengals look like world beaters, but maybe they are world beaters. Are they championship material?
Well, they have to win a playoff game first.
Right, winning all these. They've done this before. They've run the table on all these regular season games, but haven't been able to pull it together in the playoffs. But what do they look like today? Like if the playoffs started today, is that a championship team?
I don't know about championship team, but I think they'd at least go to the NFC Championship. I mean, the championship game. I don't know if they would go all the way to the Super Bowl or win it all, but they definitely showed some good some good reaction to adversity. They were down way down against a 2-2 team, and they rallied and they came back, and Andy Dalton was making some sharp throws.
Yeah, I would say their 5 wins are definitely deserved.
They're real wins.
Yeah, and you're right about Andy Dalton. Like he was on the mark most of the time.
Oh yeah.
And they got a lot of weapons offensively. Still, I'm not that super convinced about the defense, but maybe they're the converse of the Seahawks, where they rely on the offense, and the defense just has to make big plays when it's necessary.
So what you're saying is they're the Broncos from the year we won the Super Bowl.
Kind of. I mean, and that system can work.
It can.
That can work.
It can.
Thomas Rawls ran for 169 yards, which was the most amount of yards by a Seahawk running back since 2009, when Sean Alexander did greater.
I am absolutely falling in love with this guy. I'm being the baseball editor, and I'm a big fan of prospects and seeing, the young kids develop and so forth. I love it in football too. I love seeing these youngsters come up, and the raw talent is there, the drive is there. He's making all the right moves. He had one big breakaway for something like 65 yards or something at one point. And not only did he show the yards after contact that Marshawn has, he showed the ability to read and react to an immense hole immediately. And he showed the breakaway speed that can make him a home run threat.
Yeah.
He has all the dimensions and all the tools there to be a very, very good NFL feature back.
What I don't get is that our 2 biggest offensive acquisitions, Tyler Lockett and Jimmy Graham, combined only got 5 touches on the ball.
Well, you're not going to give Mark Glowinski a nod? I mean, he's one of our big offensive acquisitions. Playing right tackle.
Crickets chirping, Matt.
Anyway.
I'm too angry. I'm too angry to respond. Yes.
I agree.
Yes. Yet another defensive lineman turned offensive lineman. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I agree. They're not getting used nearly enough, and that of course comes back to Darrell Bevell. And they're not getting used nearly enough. They need to be used, and actually one continuous issue that we noticed in regards to this was the last 5 or 6 possessions we had the ball. It always seemed to come down to 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 2. And so, we just needed a quick little run or a quick little slant or something just to keep the drive going.
Yeah. Here's what I don't...
And we never used it.
I know. It just boggles me. It baffles my mind. What is it? Why can't we get more out of Jimmy Graham? He is averaging 3.5 catches per game and only 40 some odd yards per game. Except for the Bears game, he's been non-existent. Why can't we get him the ball? Whose fault? Is this Bevell? Is this Carroll? Is this Wilson? Why can't we get the ball to Jimmy Graham?
Well, part of it is, I believe, is the defenses. They're very aware of how good he is. They know how much we would love to get him involved, and they're blanket covering him.
Understood. You can blanket cover the guy. Doesn't that mean Curse and Baldwin should be wide open out there somewhere?
And we're not taking advantage of that. One of the
Well, are they open? I guess that's the first question. Are they open? And B, can Wilson find them?
I don't know. I mean, he made, one note that was brought up earlier today was the amazement of that pass that Russell Wilson made to the end zone for Curse right in the beginning of the game. He had 20 guys, and the line was breaking down right in front of him, and he had 3 other defenders, and how the heck did he see Curse way by himself, way far downfield?
Yeah,
when he's a short guy, I don't know what he sees or what he doesn't see. You'd have to talk to him, but one of the things that the Saints have excelled at, and other teams like the Patriots excel at, is they find a way to coerce defenses into only single covering or only zone covering the big stars. It's why you occasionally see Gronk all alone in the middle of the field.
Okay, so Matt, I'm going to give you maybe, let's call it A, B, and C. Let's go with A, B, and C, and then we'll assume any team that's a D that grades out as a D or an F are inconsequential. And we don't give a crap about them.
Okay.
So, if I were to ask you, Seattle Seahawks, would you give them in the first 5 games an A, a B, or a C grade? Well, hell, if you want to give them a D or an F, let me know. But if you want to rate them against the curve and all the other teams in the NFL, would you give them an A, B, or C?
Overall, I'd probably give them a C.
Okay. Got a couple other teams. Today, the Patriots beat the Cowboys 30-6. Undefeated 4-0. How would you grade these Patriots?
I'd have to give them an A. I mean, they've been spotless.
I don't disagree with you there. I might go A+ on that one.
Yeah, they're 4-0. I mean, hey,
Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals beat the crap out of the Lions. 42-17. They're now 4-1 on the season. A, B, or C?
I have to also give them an A. I mean, they are doing incredible.
Fair enough.
They're a good, talented team, and they're making use of that.
Now, the Baltimore Ravens. I'm just kidding. Nobody cares about the Baltimore Ravens. No. The Green Bay Packers, undefeated still. They beat a very tough Rams defense, 24-10 today. What grade would you give them?
I like their adversity. I like their rise to adversity. I like what they're doing. They lost Jordy Nelson right away. It didn't matter. James Jones is filling in seamlessly. I think I have to give them an A. They're rising to the occasion.
Okay. So as you've noticed, to our viewers out there, these are very loaded questions, because what I wanted to find out is, are the Seahawks as good as the Cardinals? I don't think so, and Matt doesn't seem to think so either. Matt, what about those Patriots and the Packers? Cardinals.
Okay, we're not as good as the Patriots and the Packers. I will give you that. The Cardinals, I think we might have the potential to play up to their level. We are definitely not playing at our current level. I mean, like right now, we are not playing at our maximum capacity that we could be.
Okay.
That's how I view it.
We got to run a break here in a second. I just want to get a last word from you. Today's game. Okay, so you've got the Seahawks graded at a C for the season. Today's game, does that show you anything as far as improvement or maybe a regression?
I'd have to say there was some improvement. I wrote the on our SeattleSideUp.com. I wrote our preview for this particular match, and I actually had the Bengals winning 24-21 against the Seahawks, or 24-20, I believe.
Hey, not bad.
It was pretty close.
That's pretty good. That's a good prediction.
And you can go and check it out at SeattleSideUp.com. But I was surprised at how quickly we scored when we were in the groove, and how well we reacted, and our defense, of course, we got the fumble 6 or whatever, pick 6, fumble 6, whatever. I do think we are getting better. I think that the Legion of Boom is coming together. Cam just needs to make his presence felt a little more. We need to figure out what to do with Williams also.
I agree with you, definitely.
But we're getting better.
I think we're getting better. The problem is the other teams are getting better too. The Bengals are as good, if not better. Let's go with better, because they did win today. So congrats to them.
We just need to worry we're about falling behind.
We're running a break. My name is Abraham DeWeese. This is Matthew Page. We'll be back in just a minute. Please like us on Facebook at Seattle Side Up. Please check out our articles at SeattleSideUp.com. Message us on Twitter at Seattle Side Up again, and like us on Facebook. Okay, so one last thing, guys. Go to the Best in Western Washington on King 5's website and vote for us as the best sports blog in Seattle. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, SSU TV. I'm Matt Page, and with me, as always, is Abraham DeWeese. And we're here. We're going to talk a little more about the Husky football match this last Thursday against the USC Trojans. It was quite an impressive win.
Yeah, it was 17-12. Huskies went down to USC, went down to LA, and played solid defense. I was super amazed, surprised, and guys, I was very certain that this was going to be a blowout. My buddy came over, watched the game with me, and we just sort of assumed it was going to be a blowout, and it was just an excuse to drink beer and like complain about the team. But my God, if there were better players on USC, like if they're supposed to be the better athletes, I wasn't seeing it.
Well, and how much do you think that would, be owed to coaching? I mean, they have been rated very highly by the AP. They've been rated very highly. All their scouting, on all the scouting grades for all their recruiting classes have been very, very high.
I have no doubt that they have really good athletes, but they appear to have mental midgets. And the biggest mental midget on that team is Steve Sarkisian.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. I'm a huge UW fan, and I just have to say, like watching him at the U for what was it, 4 or 5 years, he did bring them out of obscurity into mediocrity. Let's just say,
Yeah.
Couldn't get them any better. They had 4 guys go to the NFL last year, 4, and they couldn't stop Oregon from like trouncing them. They couldn't stop Stanford from trouncing them. They couldn't stop ASU. They were just team after team after team. Every loss was a debacle. It wasn't just, oh, we lost by a field goal. No, it was pounded into the dirt and had your face rubbed in it.
Absolutely, and it's also worth pointing out, you didn't make that clear, that all 4 of those guys were on defense, and yet this year's defense might be better, even better.
Number 1 ranked defense in the Pac-12.
The number one ranked so far, at least.
Well, no, yeah, and I mean that's fair. That's fair. Actually,
conference play has just begun.
When they went and played USC, I was telling our Twitter master, Brett Masker from Alaska, I was telling him that, okay, well, we have the number 1 Pac-12 defense, but big deal. Wow. You played Sacramento State, you played, Boise. I mean, these are actual teams, obviously. Everybody plays, patsy everywhere here and there. But like, what are they going to do against USCs? And what are they going to do against the Oregons? What are they going to do against the Stanfords of the world? The Utahs. What are they going to do? Well, they faced Cal, who was looking like a really good team.
Oh, yeah.
And the defense held them. The offense sputtered. They faced USC. They held them. 12 points from the number 1 scoring team in the Pac-12, number 7 nationally. This defense, you're right, Matt. It's better than last year, even though they don't have the names.
True, and like you said, that the offense sputtered, but there's a lot of hope. I mean, there's a lot to like on this offensive side of the ball. They're young, Browning. I like what I see from Browning.
I got to stop you right there. Are you okay with a true freshman, Jake Browning, just being thrown in like this? It's too late to stop it, obviously, but I mean, was this the right thing to do by Chris Peterson?
I think he went with what he had. I mean, you got to use what you have, and if at this point, if he feels that Browning gives him the best opportunity to win, then go for it. All you do is you get the quarterback, valuable experience in starting, and he can build upon that. What Peterson did in Boise State with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore stepped in freshman year, and they played he started all 4 years, and he became an incredibly talented quarterback, a well-rounded. He could do everything that Peterson ever wanted.
So this isn't different for Chris Peterson. He's done this before.
He's done it before.
Okay.
And it could be just the beginning.
And so when he did this, I was thinking to myself, Is he willing just to like tank a season just to make the quarterback better? Well, it doesn't seem like he's actually tanking the season.
No, he's not tanking the season. He knows what he's doing. There's a reason why he was on everyone's wish list forever when it came to wanting a new coach across college football. And in the pros, everyone was like, we got to get Chris Peterson out of Boise State. We got to get Chris Peterson out of Boise State. And that's why I was so surprised when he went to UW. And I knew Oregon's days were numbered atop the conference because Peterson knows his stuff. You just got to give him time.
Well, a lot of us here at SSU, myself, Husky football editor Brent Goodwine, Rich Michelson, Brett Masker, we all thought Chris Peterson's out of his mind. He's crazy. He's loco. Why would you put a true frosh out there? Maybe we're the ones that are a little bit crazy.
He knows what he's doing. There's a reason why he was so good at Boise State for so long.
Jake Browning went 16 for 32, so that's about 50%, right?
Yeah.
137 yards, 1 interception against USC. Any reason to be worried?
Not at all. The throws and misses that I saw rookie mistakes. I saw freshmen getting a little rattled, but not too crazy.
Is that what we're
things that will with time and with practice and with just experience will get cleaned up.
Is that what we're going to see against good defenses? He'll struggle this year.
He will, yeah. He'll have times where he'll struggle, but he's got Chris Peterson behind him, and Chris will make sure that he's prepared for every game.
So there was a strange play. Defensive linebacker, as if there's an offensive linebacker.
Yeah.
Linebacker Azim Victor came charging in, hit the quarterback late. It was a roughing penalty, but they called him for targeting.
So just a little more information. He hit Cody Kessler of USC. So this is we're talking about a UW player, obviously. The ruling is that if there is a targeting potential call, they do a full-on official review of the play, and they try to judge whether or not the player was going after the head or the legs intentionally to try and potentially injure the player. They did a review, and the officials who did the review are clearly blind because it was a shoulder-to-shoulder contact. It may have been roughing the passer because he was about half a second late. But in my personal opinion, I think this was one of the worst targeting calls I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not anti-targeting as far as a rule. But yeah, he hit him in the shoulder, didn't hit him in the head, didn't hit him in the knees. Why was that called an ejection for Azim Victor? Also, why doesn't the Pac-12 have a review board that you can challenge this? Because losing Azim Victor, probably their best linebacker, against arch nemesis Oregon is going to be a huge problem. They're going to miss him for an entire half, and there's nobody that they can go to challenge this ruling.
Yeah, and that is also that's part of the shame is that he can't appeal whatsoever, and it was so bad of a call, and it was not targeting. It just wasn't targeting. It was so bad, and he's screwed, and he misses not only the second half of this last game, but he misses the first half of next game, and it's the Huskies are going to need him against Oregon, and they're not going to have him because of this bogus call.
So we're running up on the break here pretty soon, but I'm going to throw out some names to you. I was watching USC on Thursday, and I know you were as well. But since I thought we were going to lose, since I thought the Huskies were going to get blown out the door, I had some names that I wanted to see from the Trojans if they were NFL caliber. Can I run through them with you?
Sure.
Excellent. Cody Kessler. Is this an NFL quarterback?
I want to call him Matt Leinart.
All hype, no substance?
Yeah, he's a USC product, and it's like the Notre Dame products of the old. He's from Notre Dame, so he's got to be.
Therefore,
good.
He must be good.
Yeah, or he's a Yankee, so he's got to be a Yankee prospect, so he's got to be good. I don't see the NFL level talent there.
I'm curious to see what the Huskies end up with at the end of the season. Like, do they still retain their number one Pac-12 ranking, or do they, regress to the mid? Because if the Huskies end up being the number one ranked defense in the Pac-12, well, maybe Cody Kessler might be an NFL quarterback, and he just ran into a better team.
Yeah, but consistently last year, if you look at his numbers and the breakdown against who he played,
Yep.
in all the biggest games of the year, he disappeared.
A couple more names for you. Juju Smith-Schuster, the wide receiver, 6 receptions, 82 yards.
This guy is the latest in a long stretch of successful USC wide receivers. From Marquise Lee to Nelson Aguilar to back all the way to Michael Williams.
Yeah. I feel like he's going to be
Big
that
body,
next one.
big stride, can run down, can
4'4".
be a deep threat. It's a matter of where he lands in the draft. That's really where it matters. You can land in Detroit Lions and do absolutely nothing, like Mike Williams did, or you could land with someone else and just set the world afire.
Excellent. A couple more, 2 running backs. Trey Madden had 17 runs for 120 yards. Do you like him, or is that a product of the offensive line?
I think it's the offensive line. Really.
Okay. And then the supposed next Reggie Bush, Ronald Jones, 8 rushes, 65 yards.
The jury is still out on him.
Didn't get to see much of him.
No, I haven't seen a lot of him this year.
Yeah, he had that one fumble, and then they got rid of him, or they held him off. Oh boy. Yeah, not good. Hey, Matt.
Yo.
Did you see what happened to Sarkisian today?
There may have been something in the news regarding Mr. Steve Sarkisian. Yes. Apparently he is taking some leave.
Yeah, apparently for alcohol rehab. So there's a huge part of me that, sees this guy who just like up and left UW because there was a better thing and he didn't want to finish what was going on here. And that big part of me just wants to laugh and laugh and laugh. And it's like, oh, you deserve that. But in a way, I also feel like, okay, good. After seeing what happened with CC Sabathia of the Yankees, going to rehab before the playoffs, maybe it's best to get your own life in order and then try to figure out what you're going to do later.
Yeah, no, and you have to give him credit, for taking the step. Your life is more important.
It's just sports. It's just sports.
And whether or not he comes back, we'll find out. But in the meantime, I wish him well. I hope he cleans up. I honestly think he was in over his head at USC anyway. He may come back and prove me wrong once he's clean. But for now, I wish him well and good luck. And go get healthy.
Up next, we're going to play buy, sell, or go to hell. This is the game where you buy the jersey, you sell the jersey, or you really tell the fans out there what you think of that player. We're going to be right back with Seattle Side Up. Welcome back to Seattle Side Up. My name is Abraham Deweese, and with us is Matthew Page. We're about to play the game called Buy, Sell, or Go to Hell. This is a game where we throw out a bunch of names, and then Matt and I will tell you if you should buy the jersey, if you should sell the jersey if you already own it, or if you should just burn it and throw it in the dumpster and then set the dumpster on fire. We have a game show host. His name is Bob Lucky. He's our technical director. Take it away, Bob.
Good evening, Abraham and Matt. Thank you very much. Okay, first we have the good, the bad, and the ugly slide. Chase Utley.
Chase Utley of the LA Dodgers and that horrific slide that he had last night against the Mets. I would set that dumpster on fire, to be honest. Like you were saying, Abe. Chase Utley, you've done a lot of decent in your career. You've done a lot of questionable in your career. You're washed up at this point, and I don't know what you were thinking with trying and intentionally injuring a fellow second baseman. So I would set that jersey on fire and run for the border.
Chase Utley, you can go to hell. You're a great player. You might even be Hall of Fame worthy. But the cheap shenanigans that you just pulled, there's no room for that in baseball. It's stupid. And I don't care if people consider that like playing really hard. And no. You tried to injure another player and take out his career and take away his livelihood. Screw you. Go to hell.
Thank you, Abraham. Okay, I'm going to throw you guys a softball. Baseball writer and fellow SSU staff member, Ian just got married Loney.
Ian Loney, also known as Oop Geez. Oop Geez is one of the best writers we have here on the staff. I just want to say, buy the jersey. His stock has gone up. He got married to a person that has increased his performance level immensely. Buy Ian's jersey.
I also have to say, buy the jersey. It's a quality SSU jersey. The value is only going to increase there. And yes, like we mentioned, he did just recently get married, and she has definitely improved his production. I would definitely. I see clear skies ahead and rising value. I'd buy that jersey.
We don't normally do this, but I do want to hear the technical director's evaluation on whether to buy, sell, or tell him to go to hell.
I'm with you guys. I would definitely buy, mostly on the basis that Angelo has really increased his value. Okay, next up, we have defensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys, Greg Hardy.
Okay, the guy beats up women. And he's a good player. But he's a guy who beats up women and
Allegedly.
Also really took it to Tom Brady today. That was exciting to see. This guy is amazing. He is right there with J.J. Watts. His character issues are a huge concern, and I don't know if this guy is going to be, suspended again. But I'd say buy the jersey now.
I would have to disagree with Abraham. I did the whole shock, like he beats women, like as Abraham said. No, it's documented, it's known, it's a fact. He is not a nice person. It's not long before he does what Ray Rice did in that elevator or equivalent.
Right.
He's not a good guy, and it's only a matter of time before he's suspended more. I would go to hell, pretty much. Burn that jersey, and no, I wouldn't touch it.
Okay, moving on to a second baseman with two good legs, Robinson Cano.
Robinson Cano. Sell. But how do you sell a jersey that costs $240 million? I don't know, but sell it. If somebody will take it, please.
maybe if we offer to pay 230 of the 240 million, we could sell it. I don't know. First of all, I don't. I as some of my fellow SSU members will know, I still consider him a Yankee, and it bothers me that there's a Yankee playing for the Mariners, and I would never own a Yankee jersey, and there's a lot of reasons for this, but I will not go into all of them right now. The bottom line is that I would not own this, and I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole, so I would sell.
Thank you. Okay, we have fourth quarter superstar, Bengals quarterback, Andy Dalton.
Yeah, fine, buy it. I mean, he's going to win one playoff game accidentally, right? Right?
If you're in Ohio, you're already struggling to find a
Reason to live. Oh, sorry.
A real player at the NFL level to root for. There's not a lot, but Andy Dalton is a solid, upstanding citizen, and he plays his heart out, and he definitely did it today against the Seahawks. And you can do a lot worse. I'd say buy if you're from Ohio.
Moving on, SEC commentator Tim Tebow.
Sal.
Tim Tebow is washed up, so I would say sell. Absolutely sell.
Oh, very definitive. Seahawks linebacker KJ Wright.
I'm going to go back and forth on this. There was a play where he got ejected 2 weeks ago against the Lions. It was the week before the Lions. My bad. It was the week before the Lions against
the Packers.
Against the Packers, where he basically tried to kill a person. Not cool in my book. And then there was the controversial play where he punched the ball, which I don't agree with being really illegal. But overall, he's one of the best linebackers in the game in Seattle, and I'd buy.
Buy the jersey, cut off the left arm, the one that pushes the ball out of bounds. Sell that, but buy the rest of the jersey.
Sticking with the Seahawks, the best person for our opponent, Darrell Bevell.
Sell.
Can I put the uniform like in a rocket and fire it into the sun? Can I put him in the uniform and fire it into the sun? Why are you asking me these questions? I take offense, Bob. I take offense.
You're the one that wants to send Darrell Bevell to the sun so he can shine down on us for all eternity.
Next.
Okay, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he had a very average day today. I wasn't a big fan of the way he played. I felt like he ran around a lot. I thought the offensive line offered better protection than it had in the several past weeks, but he chose to make move after move after move rather than hitting the check down receiver. I'm leaning towards the sell side.
But you're forgetting the Seattle average fan view, which is he makes kids happy, and he dates a supermodel that he's not gonna have sex with until he gets married, and Jesus and stuff, and so he is wonderful, and we should buy.
Okay, fine. Jesus can buy his shirt. I'm not going to.
I'm not gonna buy it either.
Speaking of things that need a miracle to win, Seattle Mariners general manager Jerry Dipoto.
He can go to hell.
Wow.
Yeah, he can go to hell. No, this guy went to the Angels and then ruined that team. He just did whatever Artie Moreno, the owner, said to do. and then he got into a fight with Mike Scioscia. Now, I'm not only going to tell him to go to hell, but for those longtime viewers, they know what I'm about to say. I'm putting him on notice.
I would have to disagree with my colleague here. I think he deserves a shot. I think he built the foundation before Moreno came in and said, "You're going to go and buy this guy. You're going to go buy this guy. You're going to go buy this guy." And when all those guys failed out, the foundation itself is what kept that team afloat. Yes, he can't stand up to Mike Scioscia, which is a negative in my book because Mike Scioscia is kind of an asshole. But he deserves a shot in my book. I am reserving the right to, I wouldn't say buy, but I also wouldn't say sell. I'd say put it in a locker for a while.
Angels missed the playoffs this year.
Yes.
Now he's our GM. We're going to miss playoffs. I'm not a fan of Dipoto. This guy hasn't done anything worth buying into. No.
Maybe the Angels lost because they didn't have a GM to go out and buy them the pieces they needed on the stretch run.
He was the GM.
No, he wasn't for half the season.
Oh, why? Because he got into a fight with Scioscia, and then Scioscia went into the owner's office and said, "It's either me or Dipoto." Well, they got rid of Dipoto.
And we got him.
Yay.
Finally, last and, well, maybe least, USC head coach Steve Sarkisian.
We'll sell the jersey, but as in our previous segment, I just had some time to reflect on it, and I don't feel really good about it anymore. That made so much fun of, his divorce, his having to sell his home, and, having to deal with all that pressure. This guy needs to get cleaned up and then find out what it is he wants to be and what he wants to do. And maybe that's at a smaller college, maybe, your non-BCS team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also agree on the sell, but I do wish him well and get healthy, go get healthy, and we'll see where the future lies. But first and foremost, absolutely get healthy. But I would definitely sell.
Okay, 4 weeks ago, thank you, Bob. 4 weeks ago, we had some bold predictions. Matt and I are going to go through these bold predictions that the SSU staff threw out there on air, and we're going to find out how close we are. We'll be right back after these messages.
You should read these because.
Hey, guys.
Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. We're back with SSU TV. We got some predictions here. I'm Matt Page. This is Abraham Deweese, and we had some bold predictions that we went over a couple weeks back, right when the season had just started.
Yeah, check out our live show from 4 weeks ago. We had 3 predictions from every member here at Seattle Side Up, and this is for the NFL season. Check these out. we're going to make fun of him a little bit.
These were Abraham going off and saying the word bold a lot.
Bold.
He was really obsessed with barbecue sauce, I guess, or something. I don't know. But we'll start right off with Bob, our technical director. Bob, he had an interesting idea about a Brian Bosworth and a zip line down into the stadium.
That's right. Our technical director, Bob, had the boldest prediction, I'd have to say, that we've seen. He thinks that Brian Bosworth is going to raise the 12th man flag, then zip line down to the field and do what? Maybe sing the Star Spangled Banner?
I don't know, but I mean, I have to admit that technically it's still possible. It could still happen.
Hey, there's still plenty of season left to go.
There is plenty of season left.
What else did Bob have?
Bob had, Tom Brady was going to get fired.
I assume he meant like cut or laid off
or
not, or
suspended for the whole season or something like that.
Hey, that could still happen.
This was when they were still doing the
Deflate Gate.
Yes. And then his final one, which I happen to like the best, which was that SSU will butcher a name on our broadcast, and that player will then comment and complain on our on YouTube about us mispronouncing it.
I don't think he said a player. I think he just said some person on the internet is going to complain that we got the name wrong.
Well, we've already done that.
We've already done that. It's happened. Bob's in the lead with 1 point for getting it correct.
So moving on to Kevin, who's our producer and publisher. He had something about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, didn't he have the Chiefs winning the AFC West?
That's right, yes. He had the Chiefs winning the AFC West, which is entirely possible.
It's possible, but their defense is horrible.
It is.
They just lost today to the Bears.
Ooh. So then he also had the Patriots were not going to win the... Oh, no, wait. You edited this. I remember this. You edited this. You said that the Patriots weren't going to win the AFC East, and you changed it to they weren't going to make the playoffs at all.
You know what? I'd like to actually go back to Kevin's original bold prediction, in that the AFC East, they're not going to win the AFC East because right now they're running away with it.
Oh yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to undo my undo. We're going to go back to Kevin's original prediction that they won't win the AFC East. I'm willing to
That could still happen.
let him have that.
Could still happen. Then his last one was that Tampa Bay would remain winless throughout the entire season.
Well, they won 2 games.
They've won 2 already, so
Yeah.
that one's kind
All
of
right, done.
All right. Moving on to Rich, who is our soccer editor. We have he had the Hawks as the last wild card.
Could still happen. It's actually shaping up. That's probably the only way they're getting in.
Very possible. Then he had Marcus Mariota as the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, but if I remember right from that video, he had just watched Mariota light up a team.
It was right after it was week 1, and Mariota had thrown 4 touchdown passes in the debut. Yes.
Right.
His last prediction was that Darrell Bevell would be fired.
I'm hoping.
We that's a wish. That's not really.
Yeah.
That's not a
Maybe that's not a prediction. That just is.
That's a lot of people here in Seattle wishing. Moving on to Brett Masker, our editor and our
chief Twitter officer, our CTO.
Chief Twit. He says that the Bengals will win a playoff game.
They're 5-0. I mean,
likely.
yeah, it's possible.
Very likely. He says that the Colts will miss the playoffs.
Very possible. They only have 2 wins, and they have Matt Hasselbeck at the helm.
And then his last prediction was that, and this is not going to happen, is that Roger Goodell will be fired.
That's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
It's very bold. That's a bold prediction.
The problem is the owners love Goodell, so they'll never let him go. You don't give a guy a $40 million bonus, and then say, oh yeah, we don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Brent Goodwine, who's our UW football Husky editor. He has, let's see here, Manning would not finish the season. Peyton Manning, he's going to get hurt.
Hey, the guy is all he's all bandaged up, and
he did terrible today.
And did poorly. Yeah. Possible.
NFC West, no number 1 seed.
Right, there's no number 1 seed, but 3 teams would get to the playoffs if I remember right. Well, that's very possible. I mean, it looks like the Packers and the Falcons Carolina Panthers. These are teams that are all in the catbird seat, and maybe Arizona can do it, but it's not going to be the Hawks or the Rams.
Yeah. His last one was that there will be 3 players reaching 20 sacks this year. I believe one of them was J.J. Watt, then Von Miller, and who was the last one?
I don't remember. Was it Greg Hardy? I don't remember. But yeah, he got very specific on this one.
Yeah.
That was really cool that he did that. But 3 players with 20 sacks in one season?
That'd be crazy.
Ooh.
But
I might have to buy him a beer if that happens.
All right, so now we're going to move on to Abraham. Here we go.
That's me.
Cam Chancellor comes back and gets what he wants in week 4.
Cam Chancellor did not get what he wanted.
And he came back in week 3.
Came back in week 3. I think I get like what? Maybe
partial credit?
I get half a point for that, right?
Yeah, all right. Okay, then you made the Yahoo stats, I believe is what you landed on. Yahoo stats that Jameis Winston would, at the end of the season, his stats overall would be better than Mariota.
Yeah, I might lose a half a point because Jameis Winston doesn't look good at all.
No, he looks terrible.
He looks really bad.
The Buccaneers as a whole look terrible. And then you have the St. Louis Rams winning the NFC West.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one there, because, oh boy.
The next one is me, of course, doing the. I had some severely bold ones here. The Tennessee Titans winning their division, or going to the playoffs is what I said. I said going to the playoffs. That was
Could happen. I mean, that's a really terrible division.
It still could technically happen.
I mean, the Texans haven't shown me anything amazing. The freaking Colts, they look like a mess. And what, Jacksonville? Or are they going to do something?
No.
You might win that one.
Randy Moss coming out of retirement.
No.
I don't think that's going to happen anymore. But it was cool to think about. And then my final one was that Brock Osweiler would be the surprise at quarterback for the season when Peyton Manning goes down, which could still very well happen.
We're all waiting for that moment that Manning doesn't get up off the turf.
Yeah, eventually Peyton Manning is not going to be able to move anymore. It's just going to happen. We don't know when, but I think it'll happen this year. Moving on, Ian had some
the new married man, Ian Loney.
Yes. Let's see here. The Hawks beat Green Bay 34-24, win by 7.5.
No, you got that wrong.
You got that pretty wrong. Buddy.
Yeah, Ian, you really got that wrong.
Yeah, we'll make fun of you for that.
We'll make fun of you now. We'll make fun of you later.
Yeah.
You were wrong.
His other one was let's see here. Second one was Mariota would be 14-14 in terms of touchdowns and interceptions, with 3,000 passing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns on the season. We'll have to see.
Guess we'll have to wait till the end of the season to see that.
I think he's lowballing it, but that's just me. And then the final one was that he wanted he said the Bills would. This one got edited by Abraham. He said the Bills were going to go to the playoffs, and then you bumped it all the way up to the Super Bowl.
I bumped it up to the Super Bowl. Then we kind of found a happy medium.
Of the championship game.
The championship game, yeah.
That's still crazy.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. So we're coming towards the close of our show. My name is Abraham DeWeese. This is Matthew Page. We appreciate you being with us for the last hour. I would like to send everybody to our website, SeattleSideUp.com. We have a bunch of wonderful articles on Seahawks. We have articles on University of Washington, Mariners, and of course the Sounders. We also have a bunch of videos. You can just check us out here on YouTube. Go check us out on Facebook as well, Seattle Side Up. Please vote for us. Vote for us on King 5's website. Best in Western Washington.